Hi again. We're in chapter 4 of 30 Years a Watchtower Slave now, a look at the organization in America. In order that you may understand what I had stepped into, let me review for you what had happened and was happening to the Bible student movement in America and throughout the world. And this subsection is The Judge Takes Over. No sooner had Charles Taze Russell died, 1916, than there came into play a behind-the-scene tug-of-war for his mantle. Russell's will left instructions for certain men to succeed him. However, the legal counsel, Judge Rutherford, was able to maneuver proxies of the corporation in such a way that he emerged president of the Watchtower Society. In order to quiet somewhat the furor which had arisen over the high-handed way in which this subversion was accomplished, he succeeded early in the war to create an issue outside of the organization through his editorial policy of the Watchtower magazine, the outcome of which was to put him into the position of a hero. As a result of the seemingly anti-war editorial policy adopted for the Watchtower magazine, Judge Rutherford and the other directors of the society were arrested. The Watchtower Society was legally dissolved, and the judge and others were tried and convicted. They were sentenced to serve an aggregate total of 80 years in the federal penitentiary of Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, once America won the war, Rutherford caused his friends to circularize a petition for retrial, and eventually he was not only freed, but completely exonerated. Lawyer Rutherford had cleverly used a fortuitous situation to create a condition in which he could lessen the pressure building up on the inside of the organization caused by his unusual election as president. He was entirely successful in taking the onus off the way in which he became president of the Watchtower Society, and utilized the arrest and subsequent conviction to create around his actions an aura of being God's servant and the chosen one to lead this new nation to better things. This aura never left him to the day of his death. So revered was he when he died in California in 1942 that his immediate friends wanted to have his remains buried in the grounds of Beth Sarum. They hoped to make of this place a shrine for the organization, to which future generations of subjects of the New World Society might make pilgrimages. The judge himself had explained his possession of this particular villa within the city limits of San Diego, which he named Beth Sarum, House of the Princes, as held in trust for Abraham and David and other princes to take possession of when they returned. Thus, no doubt, he planted into the minds of his friends the idea of this plot becoming a permanent shrine. This move, however, failed. The Board of Supervisors of San Diego would not permit a zoning change which was needed to change the lot to a burial plot. The judge, in his pronouncement of 1919, had accomplished another result favorable to the society. By seemingly opposing Christendom's support of the war, he had been successful in separating the Watchtower Society from all other organizations which lay claim to being Christian. Now it became necessary to build the Watchtower Society into a powerful organization, which would not only supply Bible students with literature and Bible helps and arrange conventions for them, but which would focus world attention on this esoteric watchtower in exactly the sense as the first Watchtower of Babel was elevated over the rank and file of mankind. You will recall that the first Watchtower of Babel was built in defiance of God in order to lead men to safety from any possible flood which might again inundate the low places. The Watchtower Society of Brooklyn was now beginning to claim that its edifice would become the refuge which would carry millions across the Rubicon, so to speak, that is, across Armageddon into the millennium, in which it would emerge as the New World Society to last 1,000 years. Next time, the judge plans changes. I'm putting in a link to a video we did years back called Ask JWs About Babel. And the question that's related to that is, how does Yahweh feel about man-made towers making a name for the people who build them? And we're meditating here upon, of course, the details, especially in Genesis chapter 11, where you read of the Tower of Babel and how men hope to make a name for themselves. There, the flood aspect of it is ignored, although Josephus, in his account of the Genesis story, makes that connection, apparently. But the Bible itself does not. It's talking about a name and a purpose that's related to making a name for ourselves. So what are the changes the judge is planning at this point? Next time. See you soon.